Let's talk about the big, beautiful bill. It's making headlines, sparking debates, and generally causing a ruckus in the political sphere. Everyone's arguing, pointing fingers, and passionately debating its merits, but few know what's actually inside this legislative behemoth. What are the key provisions? What are the potential consequences? It's a 1,000-page monster, a dense and complex document that would take weeks to fully digest. And yet it's being rushed through Congress with barely any time for review, analysis, or thoughtful consideration. Lawmakers and the public are being asked to trust a process, to blindly accept a bill that could have far-reaching implications. A process that skips debate, sidesteps scrutiny, and lacks transparency at every turn. Why the rush? What's the urgency? When things move this fast in Washington, when legislation is pushed through with such speed, it's rarely for the public's benefit. More often than not, there's something hidden beneath the surface. The details are hidden, buried in bureaucratic jargon and complex legal language. And that's where the real impact lies, in the fine print that most people will never see. A massive, complicated bill with a friendly name, designed to sound appealing and innocuous, is speeding through before anyone can really understand it, before the consequences can be fully assessed. This isn't just political theater, this is real life with real stakes. It's legislation that could change your wallet, impacting your personal finances in ways you might not even realize. Healthcare, the cost of living, and the country's finances as a whole. It's our money, our future, our collective well-being that's on the line. And we deserve to know what's really going on, to have a clear understanding of the potential impacts. Let's break it down, peel back the layers, and see what's under the hood of this big, beautiful bill. So, what's actually inside this massive piece of legislation? What are the key components that make up this complex and far-reaching bill? Let's take a look under the hood of the big, beautiful bill. First and foremost, it includes permanent tax cuts for families and businesses, a cornerstone of the bill's economic policy. This involves extending the Trump-era reductions, a move that has been both praised and criticized for its potential impact on the national debt. Second, and perhaps controversially, it raises the federal debt ceiling. This allows the government to borrow more money, ostensibly to avoid a catastrophic default on its existing obligations. Third, in an effort to control spending, it tightens eligibility requirements for Medicaid and other assistance programs. This includes adding new work requirements for some adults who receive these benefits. The idea is that if you can't prove you're actively working or diligently job hunting, then you could potentially lose your healthcare coverage and other forms of assistance. Fourth, recognizing the ongoing challenges at the border, it pours a significant amount of money into border security. This includes funding for more Border Patrol agents, the implementation of new surveillance technology, and an increase in the speed of deportation operations. These four pillars, taxes, the national debt, Medicaid eligibility, and border security, together they form the very heart of this bill. And each one of these key components sparks fierce debate and passionate arguments on both sides of the political spectrum. And ultimately, together, they're poised to significantly shape the country's future trajectory. So with all of this in mind, let's take a closer look and see what the bill's supporters are saying it will accomplish for the American people. Supporters say the bill means prosperity and security. Tax cuts, they argue, put more money in your pocket and help businesses grow, creating jobs. Raising the debt ceiling, they claim, is just paying bills we already owe, avoiding a financial meltdown. Medicaid changes, they say, encourage work and independence, not long-term dependency. And on border security, they see a chance to finally control illegal crossings and keep the country safe. For them, this bill is about strengthening the economy, restoring order, and rewarding hard work. But not everyone's convinced. Here's what critics are worried about. Critics are raising serious concerns, warning that the bill's proposed tax cuts aren't properly paid for. They argue that the financial implications haven't been fully considered and could potentially add trillions to the already staggering national debt. This is a figure that should concern every taxpayer. They fear this ballooning debt will inevitably lead to higher interest rates, impacting everything from mortgages to credit card payments. Inflation, and perhaps most alarmingly, future cuts to vital social programs like Social Security and Medicare, threatening the safety net for our seniors. Medicaid work requirements, they argue, could strip essential health coverage from millions of vulnerable Americans, especially those in unstable jobs or rural areas where access to healthcare is already limited. They also point to special perks and benefits carved out for Congress and certain federal workers within the bill, calling it blatant hypocrisy, given the sacrifices being asked of ordinary citizens. The rushed legislative process, they say, hides the true long-term costs and potential negative consequences, using clever budget tricks and accounting maneuvers to mask the true impact on future generations. Critics see the bill as fundamentally reckless, unfair in its distribution of benefits, and dangerously opaque in its inner workings. They worry it sets a dangerous precedent for passing sweeping and impactful laws without thorough debate or real public scrutiny. So why does all of this matter to you, the average American? Let's bring it home and consider the real-world implications for your family and your future. This bill could touch nearly every American. Taxpayers might see lower bills, but at the risk of a bigger national debt. Medicaid recipients could face new hurdles to keep their coverage, and government workers' benefits might change. A soaring debt could mean higher loan rates and a weaker economy. Border security changes will shape communities and national identity. Supporters see growth and safety. Critics see risk and hardship. No matter your view, a bill this big deserves real scrutiny. It's your money, your healthcare, your future. Don't let it pass you by. Demand answers and stay informed.